What's up, everybody? I hope all is well. Wait for a few people to come on in. I'm gonna get started in 1 second. I'm gonna get started in 1 second. So, so let me jump in here right now. Share this video to anybody you feel can benefit and grow from this. I got some stuff on my heart that I have to share. So if you know somebody who is single, please share this. If you can hear me clearly, just type in comment, say we can hear you. Let me know that you can hear me. I'm gonna share for a few minutes a couple of things that I need to really deal with. The real problem in the dating world, and I want to talk about reasons why people are single. And first of all, let me say, I'm not going to say anything that's clickbait. So if you're here to listen for anything controversial or dramatic, this is not the place. If you're trying to see if I'm target men or target women or tear down men or tear down women, that's not what I'm doing here. So you can just log off. But what I'm here to do is talk about humanity for a second. Now, the average person in the world is looking to be married. Um, but the problem with the dating world right now, in my humble opinion, if I could share a professional opinion as well as my humble opinion, is the dating world is not separated. Meaning, in the dating world, you have too many different types of people in the dating world. And what I mean by that is this: you have some people in the dating world who's dating to have sex. You have some people in the dating world who's dating because they're bored. You have or lonely. You have some people dating because they're married. You have some people dating because they have other agendas. The point is, the biggest problem with the dating world is there's no way to really categorize or identify who's dating for what reason. That's the number one issue in the dating pool. People say there's a lot of piss in the dating pool and all types of other stuff. Well, maybe so. But again, if you're in the pool, you're probably pissing. So let's be careful not to judge other people in the pool, because there are a lot of people in the dating pool who are genuinely great people who will be marriage material, but they can't identify who's not marriage material or who is marriage material, right? And they can't identify who is dating for the right reasons. So again, the number one issue in the dating world is you don't know who's who and who's in it for what reasons until you invest time or conversation or dates or and sometimes that can even be misleading because it's hard to really to identify a person um and who they really are just off of one conversation. Typically, sometimes you can, but typically you can't. And most people present a idea of who they are as opposed to the real person that they are. So it gets real tricky. But here's where I'm going with this. And keep in mind, if you're not married, you're single. So we don't need to play the whole I'm in a relationship, I got a boyfriend, girlfriend thing. I'm gonna say this because I've been saying this for a long time. If you are in a relationship, matter of fact, let me speak to the ladies just for a second. If you are in a relationship and you do not have a ring, you are not in a committed relationship. Ladies, if you are in a relationship and you do not have a ring, you are not in a committed relationship. There are two requirements. There are two requirements that identifies as commitment. And in any situation, this is what identifies as commitment. Faithfulness and a ring. Faithfulness and a ring. Ladies, and I'm just speaking to the ladies really quick. Well, I'm gonna speak to the guys too. And for everybody that just came in, welcome in. I'm just talking a few minutes about this subject matter that's on my heart. And I'm not here to tear down men. I'm not here to tear down women. So if you want some drama, this is not the place, okay? I'm here to talk to humanity. So let me get back to my point real quick. If you do not have these two things, you're not in a committed relationship. Number one, if you don't have faithfulness and if you don't have a ring, you're not in a committed relationship. Ladies, if you don't have faithfulness or and a ring, you're not in a committed relationship. So I'm going to say this one last time. If you do not have faithfulness and in addition to also a ring, you are not in a committed relationship. You are in a friendship. So a committed relationship requires faithfulness and a ring, period. So getting back to the real problem in the dating world, the real issue in the dating world is you can't identify who's who in that world right now in our culture, in our time period. There's people in the dating world for all sorts of reasons, whether it's for marriage, for sex, for ulterior motives, for agendas, to for whatever reason. There's a bunch of different reasons. But for everybody who is single, if you are seeking marriage, listen to me clearly. If you are seeking to be married, listen to me clearly. I've been counseling marriages for 8 years now, maybe 8 or 9 years now. I've been helping single people for over 8 or 9 years now. I've been running my business for 5+ years now. I started the Relationship and Marriage University to bring relationship education to our communities. Let me tell you something about singleness for the people who want to be married. If you are not getting counsel in your single stage of life, if you are not getting counseling in your singleness, that's part of the reason why you're still single. And that's part of the reason why so many people are going on dates and it's not working, getting in relationships and they're ending. Because people are not going into situations with wisdom and education. I can't tell you how many people, day after day, month after month, year after year, do the same thing over and over and over again, just to end up at the same starting point. And a part of the reason, or majority of the reason, is because they don't have wise counsel. Okay? So listen to me clearly. Proverbs 14 and 11. Let me tell you what it says. Proverbs 14 and 11 says, where there is no counsel, the people fall. Let me tell you why so many single people are falling. They don't have any counseling in their singleness. Now, let me tell you the problem with that. So many people end up heartbroken because they don't seek counsel before they catch feelings. And the problem is when you catch feelings before you get counseling, or any type of advice or wisdom before going into the situation, now it's harder to pull away. It's harder to come out of that situation because your feelings are involved now. And what I see happening is this, is that once you get in a committed or perceived committed situation, you've entered into a realm where nobody can really tell you anything because your feelings are going to speak to you more than any type of wisdom or counsel or understanding. And so when you get into that situation, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be in a situation where oftentimes you're going to see things that are red flags. You're going to see things that are problematic. You're going to see things that you should walk away from. But your feelings have already caught itself. So now, where am I going with this? Here's where I'm going. I want people to understand why they are still single. Now, people are going to say many different reasons why they're single. They're going to say because they want to be, because they choose to be, etc. And oftentimes, people are not single because they want to be, and people are not single because they choose to be. Oftentimes, people are single because they're in a position where they have been um, put in certain scenarios or situations such as heartbreak or disappointment or relationship failure. And now, because of it, they are still in perpetual singleness, right? but here's the thing: most people don't need to understand. The average single person is not marriage material yet. The average person is not marriage material yet. And this goes back to my original point of seeking wisdom and counsel in your singleness, because you need somebody who's going to genuinely take your situation, give you an understanding of what's going on in your situation, and on top of that, give you the truth about what's really going on in your situation. You need somebody to tell you to your face what's really wrong. I've had people, come to me as a single person and ask for advice. And oftentimes the questions they're asking me is not the right questions they should be asking. And people tend to focus on the wrong questions because they're only focused on their end goal agenda. But there's so much until you get to the end goal agenda that you have to focus on. But the thing is that the Bible says in Proverbs 14:11, where there is no counsel, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Now, for all my single people, the reason why you're in a dangerous position not getting counsel while you're single is because too many people end up in dangerous relationships without any commitment. And that's how you get a person in domestic violence, perpetual narcissism, perpetual gaslighting, perpetual stonewalling, blame gaming. That's how you end up with toxic people. And that's how you end up in situations for a year, 2, 3 years, because you didn't seek counsel going into a situation. So, number one, when a person is not marriage material, they're going to be single. Now, that doesn't mean people who are married, all people who are married are marriage material, but it means that they ended up in the situation that I'm currently talking about. You married somebody who wasn't marriage material because you didn't get wisdom and counsel before getting with the person and going into the marriage. Now, after the fact, hindsight, you see all of these problems now that you're in the relationship, and guess what? You want somebody to help you. You got questions and you want somebody to talk to that person and fix them. No, 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 no. We have to look at you first. We have to look at you first. Because there's a reason why you got with a person who wasn't marriage material. There's a reason why you end up in the situation that you're in because you didn't get counsel. There's a reason why you didn't seek out counsel. There's a reason why you didn't seek out wisdom. You end up in situations simply because you didn't get counsel. Another reason why people are single, you haven't really done the work to become the best version of yourself, and other people recognize it. Let me reiterate this. Single people are people who are not married. So even if you're in an 8-year relationship, there's a reason why that person isn't marrying you. They can see you're not marriage material. Third reason why people are single. People keep making the same relational choices over and over and over and over and over again, making mistake after mistake after mistake in perpetuality, meaning you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, making the same mistakes over and over again, the same types of choices, the same type of people. And you don't realize that there's something deeper within you, traumatic wise, trauma related, that you keep choosing to get with the same type of people or in the same type of environments that's not working for you. So the real problem in the dating world has everything to do with people not looking in the mirror, not getting the counsel and wisdom they need about them as individuals, and fixing and healing and correcting their individual issues before they even think about going into a relationship with someone in hopes of getting married. That's the problem with the dating world. It's full of people who are not genuinely doing the work to become the best version of themselves. They're doing a version of it, but not the correct version. They're saying they're healing, but they're really not. It's just part of the game in our culture. Tell everybody you're healing and tell everybody you're working on yourself, even though you're not. Again, I'm in this world. I counsel people. I coach people. I do marriage counseling. I know what's going on. I'm very in tune. And these are some of the issues that I'm seeing over and over and over again with my single people. And so let me reiterate this because I said this earlier for anybody who's just now coming in. If you are single, meaning you're not married, if you are single, okay, even if you are in what the culture would claim as a relationship, let me explain. If you do not have faithfulness and a ring, you are not in a committed relationship. If you do not have faithfulness and in addition to also a ring, you are not in a committed relationship. If you do not have faithfulness and a ring, you do not have a committed situation. And so before I hop off, I wanted to share a few things, and that's what I decided to do. But let me say this again, where there is no counsel, the people fall. Now, if you apply this to the relationship world, people continuously meet people, go on dates, get in relationships, break up over and over and over again, same cycle, because they're not getting any type of counsel. So they don't know how to identify red flags. They don't know how to identify gaslighting, stonewalling, narcissism. They don't know how to identify people who are manipulative. They don't know how to identify witchcraft. They don't know how to identify any of these things that people deal with. They don't know how to identify trauma related triggers. They don't know how to identify trauma related sensors, right? They don't know how to identify a lot of the issues that go on in relationships because they are not seeking counsel and wisdom. As a matter of fact, let me say this too. Here's an additional problem. I'm going to give you a bonus one for free. Here's an additional one. People love to keep their situation private and then go public and tell everybody they're in a relationship. And then when it gets all jacked up and the real person starts to come out, now the people want to come around and ask for advice on how to deal with a jacked up situation. See, this is the problem. You're secretive until it starts kicking you in the face. And now you want all sorts of wisdom and advice. No, get the advice before you get in the situation. Get the advice when you meet somebody. Ask somebody, hey, I'm in this situation. I just met this person yesterday. I want to get your counsel and wisdom as I go along. See, people don't want to do that because you want to be secretive and you don't want nobody in your business. And that's how many people, that's why people end up in domestic violence, narcissistic relationships, stonewalling, gaslighting relationships, end up with manipulative people. That's how so many people end up in situations where the kids don't have a mommy and a daddy in the home under one marriage, under one roof. Why? Because people are doing whatever they want to do. People are doing whatever they want to do, and that's the problem. That is the problem. If you are in a relationship right now, you're still single because you're not married. And even if you call yourself in a relationship, let me explain once again for the 10th time, I've said it tonight. If you do not have a ring and faithfulness, you are not in a committed relationship. If you do not have a ring and faithfulness, you are not in a committed relationship. And if you keep ending up with dating, relationship breakup, dating, relationship breakup, that means you're in a perpetual cycle, and more than likely, you're the problem. And that's why a lot of people are single. Now, before I hop off here, let me say this. I want people to find genuine love in marriage because it's a beautiful thing. It really is. I want people to find um, genuine, genuine, pure love in marriage. But the reality is, people are not prepared, and people are not getting counsel. And you need to get counsel, even in your singleness. Don't wait till you get married to get marriage counseling. Get single counseling, okay? Get singles counseling. If you don't have anywhere to go to my website, go to www.artistanderson.com and then click on Forever Love and get the help that you need. But even if you don't, go to where you can go and get the help, okay? I'm out. See y'all later. And let me see if we got any questions. No questions? All right. See y'all soon.